The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
The best ideas are free with Ben Young from Bwaggy.com.
Off here, he's just been telling me all about the marvellous, beautiful place he stayed on his honeymoon. Ben Young's back. G'day there, Ben.
Hey.
Bora Bora.
Oh, it was amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Telling me about the jet skiing, and often you see people on jet skis and you go, oh, you tosser.
Definitely was not that case. Definitely not.
But of course, when you are on the jet ski, you're never that person.
No, of course. Well, it's just like a motorbike on water, really.
Yeah. Good fun.
Yeah, so much fun. Get up to some decent
snorkeling.
Snorkeling. They had their own little private lagoon which they put fish in, I guess.
Yeah.
And there was one little fish that kept following you. Like, all the fish were really tame. They didn't swim away from you.
Yeah,
even out in the open lagoon.
They've never seen a hook before.
I don't know. I never saw anyone fishing.
No.
But,
no. Imagine you would.
If you were there, though, why would you fish the tiny fish in the lagoon when you can kind of go out to the edge of the atoll and get some of the bigger fish?
Yeah.
We saw some stingrays, which was really cool.
Right.
One part of the jet ski tour, they said, "Oh, we'll pause and we'll give you a drink and some food so you don't dehydrate. Just go swimming here." And then, as always, I was first in, swimming around, and then Esther yells, "Don't go that far," as a concerned wife does. So I come
There's
back,
sharks out there.
jump on, and we go for like 5 metres, and there's a massive stingray. And the instructors blatantly said, "Go swimming here, it's safe," but it's full of stingray.
Full of stingray, goodness me. Yeah. Those things, we know those things can be lethal, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds marvellous. So back
awesome.
into it now.
We're back into it.
Yeah, you happy to be back?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
It was very hard to leave, I must say.
Yeah.
First few days were quite humid back in Auckland. I always forget how humid it gets.
Yeah.
But
What,
no,
compared to where you were?
it's definitely more humid here.
Really?
Definitely.
Huh.
The thing is, in Auckland, the sun is really intense and the humidity gets really high.
It's the combo.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to talk about telling a story through experiences. And you've got... I've jotted down a few ideas, but you've got one that you can kind of relay around the ASB.
Yeah, so I saw on Twitter last week that, what's his name? Camel Andy? Oh, anyway, there was a Twitter account, and they were saying that they were going to be putting together a film on the weekend, and if you took part, you could win an iPad. But I thought I'd go and pop along, not to win the iPad, of course, just to check out this kind of what they call experiential type advertising.
Yeah.
And they put together a scavenger hunt, what they reckon is the first in the world of its kind, a scavenger hunt using geolocation and Wi-Fi and mobile devices. So a mobile device scavenger hunt.
So what is geolocation, just interjecting?
Well, it's using GPS and coordinates. But it wasn't so much that. It was... you turned up to an ASB in Ponsonby in central Auckland and connected to the free Wi-Fi there called ASB Lost.
Yeah.
And then you'd get a video of basically a storyline where a guy has lost his iPad and you've got to help him find it.
Yeah.
And it gives you two options at the end of each video of where you could possibly go next.
Yeah.
So the next destination was either to the Herne Bay Dry Cleaners or down to Conch, which is a record store.
Yeah.
And you had to make that decision.
Yeah.
And so people jump in their cars, jump on their scooters, or go running or whatever, and then you run down and do this. It's quite early on Sunday morning as well, so there wasn't too much traffic, and so it was quite fun. Ended up taking us round down to Giapo, of course the gelato store in central Auckland, off to a park.
Yeah. So you go to the next place and there'd be Wi-Fi there and you'd watch another video.
Yeah.
Cool.
And people had their either laptops or an iPhone or an Android phone or whatever they had. And most of the time it said there were a couple of destinations where they said, the Wi-Fi's not quite working here, but they had a laptop on backup, so you could just watch the video on the laptop.
Cool.
And so the story was kind of funny as well, and the acting was in it, and there were some personalities. Keisha Carshall Hughes was in one of the videos as well.
Cool.
And then and it ended up back at the ASB in Ponsonby, and everyone got a prize. Everyone got like a $50 voucher or $100 voucher.
Wow.
And
Very
then
generous.
someone took away the iPad as well.
Yeah.
So
were you close?
No.
No.
No,
Did you have to visit
I was
every
out for a
location?
Sunday drive.
No, that sounds really cool.
It was really cool, and apparently the first of its kind. And also, as people are taking part, they're also tweeting about what they're doing with the hashtag ASB Lost, so that if you weren't watching or taking part, you could follow it. Feel involved. Yeah.
That's really cool. And
so at the end of the day, I think you expect to see some kind of, because there were a lot of cameras around and people filming it, so you expect to see some kind of either television commercial or online
Yeah.
kind of viral
Or a
video.
video.
Yeah.
Now that's cool. What I like about that is that it involves you, the consumer, and it provides this experience which other people are going, what are those guys doing? You know, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah. It did have that look about it.
Yeah, people, why are they watching videos? Why is there a group of people there?
And Hamish Coleman Ross, who normally comes in on the show, he was doing it with another guy called Justin Flitter.
Yeah.
And they were on foot and they were tearing around, they were running around.
Yeah.
But then there was one point where it was too far away. I think they had to go to Giapo, so they got a taxi. The taxi driver got really into it. You know, like he was like, "Oh, it's something, a purpose." And so, so he was kind of tearing around as well.
That's awesome.
Hopefully, not breaking too many rules. But,
Hopefully not too many.
but yeah, it is an evolving.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and I think that in a very competitive market, which we do have coming out of the recession, that companies really need to get more engaged with creating these kind of stories with their consumers. Like ASB's whole new campaign is around telling consumers a story. Like I just took this photo on the corner of the ASB you're referring to. It says, "Hi, you look nice today. I'm ASB. Let's talk about that future you want to create." And I think just talking to Kiwis as regular people, it's something we can relate to. And it's also, if you keep it a nice, friendly message, it's something we'll share with one another.
Yeah.
I went into one of my favourite Indian places. It's called Little India.
Yeah.
And the reason I like Little India is because it's a family restaurant, and wherever you go, it's consistent. So I knew that Little India had started in Dunedin, and it had slowly spread. Different branches of the family had gone and set up
There's one in
stores.
Christchurch.
Yeah, and when I moved to Auckland, I was stoked that there was one here, and I actually found they've just opened another one up at the bottom of town. But they've redone their menus, and you open it up, and it tells the story of the founder, how they learnt to cook in their grandmother's kitchen in Punjab. I hope I said that correct.
Punjab, yep.
And that she taught 80% of the chefs in India in a specific kind of cooking.
Okay.
So all the chefs were trained by her, and
Yeah.
they've slowly set up each of the stores, and they're saying that the rice that they use, it all comes from the same area, some of the spices, and they just talk about the health benefits of some of the things that they're doing and how they've set up different stores. It was just really nice. I knew that it was a family restaurant. I knew that the food was quite good, but I didn't understand the story behind it, and it was nice as a regular to kind of get that story.
Yeah.
And
So
it just adds something to it. It makes it more compelling.
do you think that they could create an ad campaign if they were to go and advertise around that?
Potentially. I don't think that they need to. They're probably not that big enough, but there's enough of an essence there that you start to build a relationship with that restaurant or that brand like ASB. Another good one is Shaky Isles, a very popular cafe in Kingsland. And they've opened up another one in the bottom of town, just behind the Britomart. And it's almost become a bit of a destination. When we have visitors in Auckland, we often take them there and they're like, wow, this is cool. And I took one of my English friends there, and they actually asked could they take home the coffee cups, because the coffee cups have these little cartoon characters on it with some little stories or jokes on it.
Nice.
And it just makes it so much more interesting and more fun to go. And also, if you're picking a cafe, do you just want to go to the regular cafe or the fun cafe?
Yeah.
If you're looking at restaurants, you just want to go to the regular restaurant, the one that you kind of understand the story behind.
There's a deeper story, yeah.
Yeah,
Another
so-
layer.
But Kiwis are often hesitant about sharing those stories. I'm suggesting, yes, please share it. People do want to know about the cafe that they visit all the time, the pub, the restaurant, the retail store. And it's those kind of things that help increase customer loyalty, word of mouth.
That's a good point.
It just makes it a much more fun and lively place to be. It has a greater sense of community rather than a dry, stale store.
Cool. All right, that's a great message. Thanks very much, Ben.
Cool.
Thanks for coming on in. Bwaggy.com, bwaggy.com, also Bwaggy on Twitter as well.